This is the tutorial video for the Tascam DR70D multi-track audio recorder. The Tascam DR70D is a 4-channel audio recorder with 4 microphone inputs as well as built-in stereo mics. When recording audio for video, the recorder can be used to record separate audio to be synced in post-production, or can be used as a mixer if connected directly to a camera. The recorder has 4 combined XLR 1/4-inch jack inputs and built-in stereo microphones. It is powered by 4 AA batteries which can be accessed via the hatch at the back, underneath the rubber flap. Audio is recorded onto SD cards, which can be found under the same cover as the batteries. To power on the recorder, use the slide switch on the right-hand side. Hold the switch down for a couple of seconds until the screen becomes active. When first powering on, you may need to set the time and date. Use the large data dial to adjust the values and the skip buttons, numbered 3 and 4, to move between day, month, year and time. Push the data dial in to confirm. We recommend you do this as accurately as possible, particularly if you are planning on syncing with video later. You may be asked to format the media. Make sure that you are happy that you have any data backed up before accepting this, as any data on the card will be erased during formatting. The screen displays various important information. The recorder operation, such as play, stop, record. Elapsed time. Monitoring mode, either mix or camera. The battery meter. Remaining time, level meters, and recording status of each track, track name, low cut and limiter indicators, hold status, and peak value, displayed in decibels. On the front of the recorder, you will find access to the menu, the scroll dial, gain pots for all 4 channels, playback options, stop, play, skip forward, skip back, record and slate to assist with syncing sound in post. There is also a record indicator and a dual indicator to mark when dual recording is switched on. On the right hand side of the recorder you will find the first 3 XLR and 1/4-inch jack inputs, and on the left you will find input 4, as well as a headphone mini jack input and volume, extension input, camera in, camera/line out, a remote control input and a micro USB port. To bring up the menu, press the menu button on the front of the recorder and use the data dial to navigate, pressing it in to select each of the options. In the basic menu, you will find some options to set for each channel. Each channel can be activated or deactivated depending on which inputs are being used. For all channels that have been activated, the number on the home screen will appear in a black box. Pan and gain can also be set on this page. The gain can be set between low, mid or high, and then fine-tuned using the dials on the front of the recorder. Inputs 1 and 2 can be set to use the XLR or TRS inputs, the external stereo input, or external stereo with power. Inputs 3 and 4 can be set to use XLR or TRS inputs, or the built-in stereo microphones. You can navigate directly to the channel you want to adjust by pressing the corresponding button marked 1, 2, 3 and 4 on the front of the recorder. In the monitor menu, you will find options to select either mix, which is a stereo mixdown of all the active channels, or cam, which is a return feed from a connected camera via its headphone or line out. You can also set the output level in decibels and the gain between line for a powered speaker or amplifier and cam to output to a camera. In the input menu, you can set the gain to line if you are using a line output from an external device, mic when connecting a microphone, or mic plus phantom for condenser microphones which require an external power source. You will see a warning message to confirm your selection whenever switching phantom power on. All channels with phantom power switched on will display a small XLR icon on the left side of the home screen. The limiter can be switched between off, mono, which means that each channel will be affected separately by the limiter if there is excessive input, and link, which means the limiter will affect both channels of a stereo pair if there is excessive input on either channel. The low cut filter can reduce background noise such as fans, projectors and air conditioning units, as well as wind. The low cut filter can be switched on and the cut-off frequency can be set between 40 and 220 Hz at intervals of 40 Hz. The delay can be set between plus and minus 150 milliseconds to compensate in differences in distance between built-in and external mics. In the record menu, you can set the file type, format, sample rate and dual record. The file type can be set to mono, which records a separate mono file for each active channel, stereo, which records a separate stereo file for each stereo pair of inputs, either channel 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, and 2 mix, which records a single stereo mixdown of all active channels. The format can be switched between WAV and BWF at both 16 or 24-bit depth, and sample rate can be toggled from 44.1, 48 and 96 kHz. With dual record, it is possible to create a second safety file at a level between -1 and -12 decibels below the main file. This is useful in an environment where you may have unexpected peaks in the audio. This feature cannot be enabled if more than 2 channels are active, or if the selected channels prevent the recording of a stereo pair. For example, if tracks 1 and 3 or 2 and 4 were the active tracks. The recorder also has a slate feature which can play a constant tone at a set volume when the slate button is pressed. It can also be set to automatically add tone at the beginning and end of a recording. By connecting the camera out jack to a mic input on a camera, the same tone signal can be recorded on both the camera and recorder. These tones can be used as guides for aligning files in post-production. The tone volume can be set between -12 and -36 decibels at 6 decibel intervals. Pressing the slate button during recording will add a slate tone to that point in the recording. You can navigate directly to a slate tone in a recording while playing back on the recorder. Turning the data dial left or right will move to the previous or next tone. Files and folders can be accessed via the Browse menu. All other settings, including System, Date and Time, and File Name, are found under the Other menu. You will also find the options for formatting media within this menu. That covers the basic setup and operation of the Tascam DR70D. For full instructions, you can find the manual attached to the asset on SmartHub. Thank you for watching.